Morris.
Thank you, Mr Deputy Speaker, and I rise to support the motion on the order paper, not least because I believe that Conservative promises made to protect our armed forces have been sadly lacking and ring hollow now that they're in government, as with so many other promises, I may say. And at the same time as ministers want to cut the size of our conventional armed forces, they're proposing to increase by 40% the UK's nuclear stockpile. So I'd like to ask the Minister, what is the strategic reason for this decision? How much will it cost? And how will the UK be safer with 260 nuclear weapons compared to 180? Mr Deputy Speaker, breaking international law and treaty obligations, I believe, sacrifices our moral authority when we're dealing with regimes like Iran, who threaten our allies in the Middle East. Indeed, in 2015, ministers promised the strength of the army would not fall below 82,000. In truth, we will never meet this target, with the army's current strength standing at 76,350 soldiers. Since 2010, the Conservatives have overseen a reduction in the strength of our armed forces, a reduction of a quarter, with 40,000 fewer full-time troops now compared to 10 years ago. The government will weaken the army further, reducing numbers to 72,500 by 2025. In 2012, the MOD partnered with private outsourcing contractor Capita to deliver a £1.3 billion recruitment project. I'm glad that the contract wasn't for a new site for the Army's rifle, because the numbers recruited since Capita's involvement has not hit the target in any year since the contract was awarded. But we should be angry about this wastefulness. Every pound loss in profits squeezed out of a failing contract means fewer soldiers, poorer equipment, less opportunities for people to make a career in the services. Mr Deputy Speaker, technology is important, but having spent time with veterans as a trustee of the newly formed East Durham Veterans Trust, I must agree with the former Chief of the Defence Staff, Sir Nicholas Horton, who said, "I would argue more strongly that it is our people that give the UK's armed forces our qualitative edge." And we've seen our military in action over the last year during COVID, from reinforcing frontline services to building hospitals, delivering vital equipment and running testing centres in my constituency. Mr Deputy Speaker, I know that there are honourable members opposite who care passionately about their armed forces, and I ask that they work cross-party to ensure our armed forces...
Order. Chris Clarkson.